The case of the human chop shop in Arizona is one of the most disturbing and macabre stories in recent forensic history, revealing a deeply unsettling side of the body donation and scientific research industry. January 2014, the FBI raided the Biological Resource Center, BRC, in Phoenix, Arizona, following allegations of illegal activities involving the sale and improper handling of donated human bodies. What they discovered inside was a scene straight out of a horror movie. Body parts stacked on top of each other, heads and torsos piled together. Remains that were not properly labeled or stored. The BRC operated under the guise of a legitimate body donation program, promising families that the remains of their loved ones would be used for scientific research and education. Instead, it was revealed that body parts were being sold to third parties without proper consent from the donors' families. The facility's practices were not only unethical, but also violated federal regulations regarding the handling and sale of human remains. During the raid, FBI agents found disorganized and unsanitary conditions. The facility was described as having body parts strewn throughout in a disorganized and unhygienic manner. Heads, arms, and legs were found stacked on top of each other, with no clear identification of who they belonged to. Some remains were found in coolers, while others were left on gurneys and tables without any refrigeration, leading to decomposition. There were reports of body parts being used in ways that were far removed from any scientific or educational purpose. Investigators discovered that BRC had been selling body parts, including torsos, heads, and limbs, to buyers who were not always using them for the agreed-upon purposes, such as research or training. Some were allegedly used in military and vehicle crash testing, and there were instances of remains being sold overseas. The owner of the Biological Resource Center, Stephen Gore, later admitted to selling body parts without donor consent and was charged with operating a criminal enterprise. In 2015, Gore pleaded guilty and was sentenced to probation. He admitted to knowingly misleading families about how the bodies would be used, acknowledging that his actions were both unethical and illegal. The revelation shocked and devastated the families who had donated the bodies of their loved ones in good faith. Many were led to believe that their relatives' remains would contribute to meaningful scientific advancements. Instead, they learned that body parts were treated without dignity or respect. Lawsuits were filed by numerous families against BRC and Gore, seeking justice and accountability for the betrayal of trust. This case highlighted the lack of oversight and regulation in the body donation industry. In the United States, there are few federal regulations governing non-transplant tissue donation, allowing facilities like BRC to operate with minimal scrutiny. The fallout from this case led to calls for stricter laws and more rigorous oversight of body donation programs to ensure that such abuses do not occur again. Even years after the raid, questions linger about the full extent of BRC's operations and the fate of the many body parts that were sold and shipped around the world. The case serves as a grim reminder of the potential for exploitation within industries that deal with human remains and the critical need for transparency and ethical standards.